All right, guys, welcome back. Market Mondays has returned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
This is a
A
fact.
ton.
There's a lot going on in the world right now. But first, I wanted to just thank everybody for returning. All the returning Market Monday watchers out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been on a nice run recently. And a lot's been happening with crypto and in the market. So this is the place to get the information from, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, a big week for Earn Your Leisure. We have a legend in the game that we're interviewing tomorrow, Barbara Corcoran.
Hey.
Shark on Shark Tank, real estate mogul, serial entrepreneur. You know, one of the ones.
That was fun.
So that's our third shark on the show. We 3 down, 3 to go.
Wow. Okay. True.
Yeah, you want to talk about somebody with the depth of knowledge, energy, and enthusiasm? I mean, as soon as she walks in the room, it's very evident that she's ready to go, man. Yeah, she's with it, man. It was a fun one. So everybody, that's definitely one of them notepad ones. We always talk about, there's going to be some episodes you got to sit down and rewatch a few times. This is definitely one of them.
Invest Fest 2024. We down to 4
What
cities.
we doing?
Down to 4 cities. Houston, Texas.
A lot of phone calls coming in.
Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, and New York, New York are the 4 finalists for the Invest Fest sweepstakes. We will be making a decision and an announcement Friday.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We have some breaking
top of the morning, evening. What kind of vibe we going for? I'm patiently waiting.
Midday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Midday hour. The midday hour, we will be breaking some information.
Yeah. Shout out to all the other cities as well. I know I got a bunch of phone calls, some text messages from our Detroit conglomerates.
I got a bunch of Detroit messages.
A lot of Detroit, we love y'all.
Yeah.
The 313 day was last week, so shout out to the whole city of Detroit. We love y'all. We got some things planned for Detroit. Don't worry about y'all. DC, shout out to y'all. Chocolate City, we love you. We love you. This is no indication of our love for that city. We love that city so much. We'll be in DC a few times this year, but we got something planned for y'all as well. But the Final Four is this is the real Final Four
for sure. Yeah. And I want to thank you everybody that was on my financial planning call. Well, not actually my business planning call. I talked about my 15 steps of
added value.
Yeah, added value. And I had a bonus for branding.
Somebody say that was a masterclass.
Definitely. So shout out to everybody in there, man. EYL University is going crazy right now. So yeah, we got a lot planned, and we got a very big announcement in a couple of minutes. I want to wait for everybody to get in here before we announce this one. But
the beat build.
We haven't done this in a while, so we got something we're gonna drop. But without further ado,
well, before we go any further, this is a big week for Market Mondays. Did y'all know that this is our 4-year anniversary?
I also like a bad husband for a second. Like, is it the anniversary or not?
Yo, it's crazy, man. The 4-year anniversary of Market Mondays is approaching, man, which is, I mean, who would have known? Who would have known? Except the guys in this room.
I appreciate y'all for the partnership, the friendship. Thank you to everybody who's tuned into the show, all the earners, everybody in Red Panda. Fair to say we've made history.
For sure.
Changed some lives, destroyed a competitor or two. But I'm gonna keep it positive. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. It's got to be the number one investment, though. Yeah, made people a lot of money. So
change the game, man. Really change the game.
And shout out to Blackout. Shout out to the show Blackout, going crazy right now.
Yes.
This week, I'll announce this early. We got a special guest. Child support is a fraud. That's his alias.
Triggering.
Shout out to triggering. That's his alias.
So triggering.
This is gonna be a good one. And this
my God, I'm turning my phone off tonight.
This is one of the ones, man. It's educational. It's needed. A lot of people, men and women, have gone through the child support system. So we're gonna be talking about some other topics outside of that, but that's the focus. Full in-depth conversation on the child support. So it's a financial topic for sure. No way around it.
It definitely is.
Billions of dollars generated. So it ruins lives. It's one of these things. So child support.
Take care of your kids. Pay your child support if you're owed. Clip this part up too in Lorette.
For sure. So check that out 10 o'clock on Wednesday. But Ian,
you know what? Shout out to KB. We can't go. We got to shout out to KB who was on Blackout last week. A lot of messages came in about. I'm surprised that people they're like, wow, Kenny Burns, he's amazing. I'm like, yeah, he's been amazing his whole career. So the see him get his
Facts.
flowers, to see his depth of knowledge and multitude of topics, man. But really, the state of Black people and our culture, or what we can kind of surmise what culture is. But it was dope, man, to see the feedback that was coming his way from that. So shout out to KB for being on Blackout.
Can he put that right foot down too? Sorry, I'm getting out of there. Don't worry. I got you. The screen. Stock Club call will be this Saturday at 3 p.m. We had an amazing call this past week. I appreciate you guys so much. If I've made you money, please put yes in chat. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in for the past 4 years. I think we changed the game for the better.
For sure.
See, I kept it clean, even though I got the Suge Knight background. I kept
Real
it clean.
clean, man. You know how this works, man. We give you a lot of knowledge, but you got to do your own research, man. That's very important. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. This is a message brought to you by the good brothers at Earn Your Leisure and the good brother Ian Dunlap, the master investor himself. Continue to do the research, continue to share the research. And what is good, let us know. Let us know. Put a yes in chat when you make that money. We love y'all.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start this show off with the number one topic for the last 3 weeks, Bitcoin.
Yep.
So Bitcoin, it dropped a little bit, I believe, from its all-time high. I think it's currently hovering around that 67 range, 68,000 range. It was 73,000 last week. Well, you know, still holding strong. So we're a month away, 32 days away to Bitcoin halving happens, right? So let's just talk about that for people that don't know. And then also, what do we think is going to happen to all cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin included, after the halving takes place?
I mean, I think there'll be a little bit of a drop after halving, but all my crypto enthusiasts, you can tune in now and clip this up. If we're looking at return over 5 or 10 years, there's no close competitor. I know like SNCI has done incredibly well, Nvidia has done incredibly well, but if you look over a 5 or 10 year period, Bitcoin is giving the best return possible. Of course, after all-time high, people were complaining that it fell to 69,000, like it fell to 40. I'm like, it's barely a harsh pullback. Michael Saylor made the case that doesn't have to be a currency. It can just be a great store of value, which I agree with 1,000%. It could go to, I don't know, maybe 65, 64, and then pop back up. But I think more important than what will happen in 32 days, 31 days from now, I think the real thing is to make sure that you're holding for a year and a half. Because I don't know if we'll get another opportunity like this. There's a lot going on in banking, a lot going on in real estate, a lot going on in the general market. But like one of the places that there's been a lot of certainty in terms of mass gain has been Bitcoin. And if you don't have some exposure, I think you are definitely going to miss out. So continue to hold for the long term. I don't think it'll get to 100,000 this year, but next I think it'll crack that mark. But I think they have really made their mark on the investment world. And over the last 12 or 13 years, there's been no question like what's been the best investment in terms of return, despite the volatility, and that is Bitcoin.
Yeah. So Bitcoin halving is an event that happens every 4 years. It reduces the reward for mining new blocks of Bitcoin. And it's designed to control the supply of Bitcoin and maintain the scarcity aspect of it. So that's why it's called halving. So it's one of these things that I saw JP Morgan I think it was JP Morgan. They put a report out saying that they expect Bitcoin price to drop as a result of halving. And you know, some people have different points of views on it. But it is, if you're interested in crypto or Bitcoin, it's something that you should be aware of, because it is something that happens on schedule every 4 years. And there's going to come a point in time where there will be no more Bitcoin. So that's why it's a scarcity model. It's not something that's like the US dollar where they can constantly just print money forever.
Print trillions of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a sense, that every 4 years, it takes about almost, I think, 210,000 blocks are made. Right. So Bitcoin is something that is mined. And so the halving was the reward for mining. And so, again, it happens every 4 years. So they said, I have the statistics here. The first reward was 50 Bitcoin. Right. And that was prior to 2012. 4 years later, November 28th, and it was 25 Bitcoins. Right. So 4 years after that, in July of 2016, it was 12.5. And so you can see that the reward has been cut in half every 4 years. May of 2020, it was down to 6.25. And in April of this year, which is in 32 days, that is going to be cut down to 3.125. And you can do the math, right? In 4 years, which would be 2028, it'll be down to like 1 point something. So every year, the reward for mining it gets less. There is an infinite supply, I think around 21 billion. And so when that supply is made, they're not making any more. So as the less of the amount of the quantity of the asset, which is the Bitcoin, you can see the appreciation of it. I guess and we said this, Bitcoin moves in 4 year cycles, and this is why. Yep. But it's kind of one of these things when we look into, I would equate it to watching a company going into its earnings. And sometimes the value is kind of built in as you get to that point. And
yes.
So as we're approaching this halving date, is the value built in already? When it gets to 73,000, do we see a pullback?
Yeah, it's too high to buy at this point. You got to wait for it to pull back. But if halving does present a case where it gets to maybe 55,000, like, it would be a good buying opportunity for sure. And once again, like, I think there's some rules of thumb that always last. Never buy the high, never buy based off of hype. Kudos to the people that have held since 2020 or 2022. But a pullback is going to happen, especially in crypto. Like, a 10%, 15% drop can happen in 2 or 3 days. 30% drop can happen in a month. Like, take advantage of it when it's there, and don't be on the sideline like, damn, I missed out. Because when the quote unquote crypto winter happened, a lot of people were sitting on the sidelines opposed to buying, and now they're kind of missing out. So this next opportunity, continue to buy, and you have a lot of safety. Larry Fink, Big Meech of Bitcoin, came in. He's giving y'all the floor. So, over the next 4 or 5 years is going to go up. I think BlackRock and Fidelity now own 26 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they're hitching their wagon to it. So if it does drop there, at least there is a floor there on the institutional side for sure.
Yeah. So in 4 years, the halving will be 1.56. And so you can see as the appreciation, and we can look now, right, for this 4 year cycle. We said that fourth year of the cycle is usually the best in terms of percentage gain. 2028, that would be a pace for it to be again at another height. And if we're at 70,000, you can see the easy case where people are saying Bitcoin can go to 100 to 120,000. You can kind of see the case why they would say that.
It was at 4,900 in 2020. So to get from there to 70,000, Nvidia's had a hell of a run. Shit, I wish Apple would have bought a bunch of Bitcoin. I know y'all doing that Google Gemini deal, but y'all should have did the Michael Saylor strategy and just bought up every Bitcoin you could and mined them through the iPhone.
Yeah, but that's part of the investing strategy, right? Do you have the mental discipline and fortitude to withstand that, right? When you see something go from 20,000 down to 4, are you willing to stay in there and say, all right, well, I believe in this asset, I'm going to stay with it and take that appreciation right up, which could happen again. I don't think it goes down to 4,000 from 70, but it could have a pullback. But so. That's why we say invest in it if you believe in it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have a percentage of your portfolio in there, and enjoy the ride. Pause.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing with the ETFs is that Bitcoin trades 24 hours a day, but with the ETF, so you can't really buy it and sell it at midnight or 3 o'clock in the morning. So if a crash happens or if a buying opportunity happens, you got to wait till the market opens. That's a downside. Another downside to ETF.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a pen in the water potentially, but I mean, I think the biggest lesson, this 4 years for us flew by fast. Like 4 years is going to go by anyway. Like, what's the alternative to miss out? Like, I know I get a lot of criticism for it and takes on it. I still call it at 28,020. Like, I don't know why y'all want to rewrite history. It's still on YouTube. Novagrass came on here, gave credit. Like, I think even episode 4, like, y'all came in and told the story of the 2016 crash, and like, if you hold most crypto through a 4 year cycle, like, you'll be a-okay.
Yeah, I can see brokerages. You know, I know that a lot of them now are doing the 24-hour trading up until I think 9 o'clock on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them open up some of these Bitcoin,
Making an adjustment.
Yeah, making an adjustment. Yeah, I saw it on my E-Trade a few weeks ago, and I was like, wait, they gave me access to that, and
Gotta get the volume in, man.
Yeah, but it's not. Not all equities are traded 24 hours. There's certain ones that they allow you to trade.
Only the ones with the volume.
Exactly. I can see them moving to using the Bitcoin ETFs because of that fact that you just said. It is something that is trading 24 hours a day.
After hours for Ethereum coming soon.
That's so
the afties.
Let's talk about all right. What is hit the like button?
Hit it.
Share, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button and share. This is life-changing information that we're about to get into. What is your trading tip of the month?
Number one, have a short target that you can use in your trading. So I know a lot of people left Forex or went from Forex to futures. On episode 70, classic episode, one of my favorite targets is 4 ticks. So it's the equivalent of 4 pennies in the market. Like sometimes as traders, like Steph made the adjustment in the NBA where like when every kid gets on the court, they want to shoot threes and no layups, right? And the same is happening in trading because we're seeing huge volume sizes go up. People are going for long targets or holding calls for a long period of time. But in the futures market, like if you can get 4 ticks and let's say you're trading 25 contracts, like you can easily pick up 8%, 12%, make 2,500, $3,000 in a day. Trading has considerable risk. Please consult your advisor. You need to practice before you do this. But I think every trader needs a way to have a guaranteed win. And 4 ticks, whether you're trading ES, ZB, which is the bond market, UB, it's probably one of the best ways to be able to get a quick win in a market. And also, if your confidence is shot, like I know some people lost on Costco a couple of weeks ago, the Nvidia dropped the 2 Fridays ago. A good way to build your account back up is to use these short targets. Do 1 on Monday, 1 on Friday, and then you can get back to doing longer trades. But I think one of the best things to do is to get a short win, to get capital in. It's one of my favorite trading strategies, and it's one of the reasons I'm able to like keep my win ratio so high. Like my first trade is usually a shorter target, then I'll go for a longer one after that. And secondly, I've said it before, look at the month chart first, then weekly, then daily, then hour. Only fire after all of those match up. So if it's monthly green, weekly green, daily green, hour green, fire. Too many times I'll see people be like, yo, the month was up, the week was up, the day was up, but the hour was bleeding down. I'm like, why? You're buying a falling knife. If the market is not pushing up, like SMCI dropped a bunch today. If you're trading on a daily basis or intraday trade, today wasn't the day to try and catch that falling knife. I want all green signals across the board to go long, and I need all red, like the black, like in my background right now, Damu, if I'm going short. So I'm not a blood, I'm not affiliated with no Vice Lord. Stop it. But shout out to y'all.
Peace, Lord.
Shout out to all the Red Rangers.
So
feel you, Lord.
So if you follow Market Mondays, you know Ian is a trader by nature. He trades futures, and we don't really talk about that too much on Market Mondays because it's not something that the average person is really equipped to do. So how we talk about like long-term buy and hold, that's something that 95% of the people can benefit from, as opposed to even trading options or futures trading and stuff like that. But there are people that want to take advantage of that and make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. And from a long-term perspective, as far as buy and hold, there's more hands-on approaches as well. So Ian, obviously you know him, and he has a program called the Red Panda Rebellion, Ram Panda Stock Club. So we've done this twice, but it only after InvestFest. But we was talking, and he was like, "Yo, we think we should just offer it again." So what we did last time for InvestFest was the 3-year Red Panda Stock Club deal. So what this is, it gives you access to the legendary Red Panda Stock Club for 3 years, which you have access to all the stocks. Like he tells you stocks and actually when to buy the stocks. Like
the actual price when to buy.
Yeah, a variety of them. You get 5 of the best stocks. You get the sniper program. So the
For
sniper
5 years.
That's 5 years, right?
Yep.
And the sniper. Explain what sniper is.
The sniper program is like the way to trade futures. So originally I put it out for free, then I took it down. People have been asking for it to come back. So I was like, okay, a great way to combine long term with short-term trading so you can have the best of both worlds, like a financial threesome, is to put both in one package, right? So you get 5 years worth of trading access and you get 3 years worth of stock club in the same bundle.
And ask Edwin about Stock Club.
Shout out to my guy Edwin.
I'm sure Edwin's in the comments. Shout out to Edwin.
Yeah, him, Billy, Brand.
Yeah,
yep.
It's the people that's actually benefited from Stock Club. They sing the praises, and that's always the best. You want the people to be your biggest evangelist. But I mean, it's one of these things, right, where it's a higher level of education, more like a private school. I always say it's a public school, private school. You're going to get the public school information all day. Yes. And that's watching Market Mondays. That's on your leisure. That's on Instagram. And that's great. And like I said, you can take that information and just, you could change your life with the free information for sure. But some people want to be skilled. It's a difference between some people that just go to the park just to play. You still get cardio. But some people actually want to make it to the league, right? If you want to make it to the league, you got to do a different level of training. It's not the same as just playing pickup ball. Pickup ball is better than sitting at the couch, though. So, Red Panda Stock Club, legendary. Millions of dollars has been made from the long-term buy and hold picks, but also from the trading, staying at home. And this is actually another one of these, career paths as well, right? When you learn how to trade, it's actually a skill set that you can do in the Bahamas, you can do in Colorado, you can do in Florida, and it may not be Turks for sure.
There too.
It may not be a full-time job. It may not be a full-time job, but it can be. But it also can be something that you can earn, a couple $1,000s a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever. It adds up. $1,000 a day, right? These are different things where you got losses too, but that's why you have to train and you have to practice, and it's not easy. It's not like a get rich quick overnight. You're going to become the trader that changes the whole entire world. But you can definitely learn some things, and like I said, just from a buy and hold standpoint as well, knowing when to get in a position, exactly when to get in, when to get out, having information. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars depending on how much money you invest. So Red Panda Stock Club sale. This is a 48-hour offering that we're doing for Market Mondays. And the website is called ianinvest.com. ianinvest.com. This is for the 3-year. This is the 3-year deal. 3-year access to the Stock Club and 5-year access to Sniper, along with a variety of other things. All the things will be listed on the website. And that is ianinvest.com.
Yep.
All right.
Our first call will be this Saturday. Teach you how to build your own baby crystal ball. And even a Stock Club, I told y'all, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, about the big collapse coming. Tesla told you about it. Call's been really entertaining too. So if y'all think Blackout crazy, I'd be going crazy on the Stock Club call. So shout out to Bowen acting like Suge Knight, and it's a lot going on in this world.
Yeah.
48 hours, ladies and gentlemen. 48 hours only. ianinvest.com. This only, if you've been watching, this only happens maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. So for sure. Okay. Switching gears. Let's talk about TikTok.
You going to Bowen from switching gears?
Switching gears in all facets.
So let's talk about TikTok. So the House of Representatives passed a bill in pretty wide margin, bipartisan support, to ban TikTok from America unless they sell to an American company or American owner. They're currently owned by a Chinese company, ByteDance. And they say that, there's issues on security. There's issues that, the Chinese has so much data on Americans, the whole spiel. So now it's past the first hurdle. The next hurdle is that it has to go through Senate, and we'll see if the Senate passes it. The president, after that, then it will go to the president to sign into law. he already said at the State of the Union that he would sign it if it got to his desk.
Yeah.
So 2 of the 3 hurdles have been passed, right? Essentially, the president said he's going to sign it. The House has already passed it. So now the ball's in the Senate's court. It's up to them to see what they're doing. The former Treasury Secretary is putting together an investment group to buy TikTok. There's been
talk about conflict of interest.
Remember, Meta tried to buy TikTok years ago, and it got blocked by the government. They said it would cause a monopoly. So there's definitely been interest in a variety of American corporations. The TikTok CEO has been very vocal in trying to drum up support to stop this from happening, to stop the forced sale. So this is a very interesting time that we're in right now. So what is the thoughts on this TikTok situation, and how could it potentially play out for the economy?
My first thought was, and shout out to Pro Mania for making this video, but my first thought was, out of all the issues that's going on in America, food crisis, racism at scale, poor education, poor food, Boeing, y'all planes won't stay together. You're using cheap manufacturing to put planes to fly people across the country. How is this the one thing that everybody can agree upon to pass as a bill? If Zuckerberg had his hand in this, well played, because TikTok is a dominant force. Now, Rashad, I'm not going to go on my rant from 2 years ago because you won the war, right? But my thing is, like, out of all the important issues that we're facing, how the hell is this the issue that everyone on both sides of the aisle agree upon unanimously? And then this guy wants to put together an investment group who blocked it before to try and buy it. I think that's a conflict of interest. Is China still in our data? Is there some nefarious stuff going on? Yes, but if we don't think that that same thing isn't happening with iPhone and other social media platforms that are here in the States, I think we are misaligned. David Sachs made a great point that this could be the introduction of like a Patriot Act 2.0, where there is more spying on our citizens, and I agree 1,000%. And I think the biggest fear here that no one wants to say is, if TikTok is not blocked, it could overtake other social media companies. Like, let's take Meta out of it, right? Because I lost that round. They're definitely better than Snapchat. Arguably a little bit more sticky than YouTube. I just think it's a underhanded way to block a company from being here. And if that's the case, how many more other companies are we going to block from doing business here? And they want to block China from having a media company, but you let all the investors buy up all the damn rainforest in South America and then all the land next to government entities here in the United States. Where was the block on that? You didn't block Bill Gates and them from buying all that land together. But TikTok is the big issue that we're worried about. Why? And I know people are going to say they're trying to dumb American citizens down. You think TikTok has dumbed people down more than Instagram and Hollywood? Shout out to Jason Lee. I rock with you for the show. Rock with you. Right, even though you be at Mel, we friends, all that. But Shade Room and Jerry Springer back in the day, like, no, American media has done more to dumb down its citizens than anyone in China has.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's an impossible feat, right? It's going to get banned because they've given them 180 days to sell this thing, or the ban's going to be put in place. Now, when you talk about sell, this is not just like a normal transaction. The valuation on the low end, you know what it is for TikTok?
No, I don't.
100 billion on the low end, right? So
who do you sell to? Right.
So this is the issue. So TikTok made 16 billion in sales in the United States last year, according to the Financial Times. If you did a 9x or a 10x evaluation on that, you're talking about on a high end, it could be 150 billion. So you have 180 days for a $150 billion transaction. Tell me how that
the money's not there for most people.
How does that go through? So why was the cause for the ban? So the U.S., they have a long restricted policy restricting foreign ownership of radio and television broadcasting, which is kind of tricky, right? Because TikTok is really a social media platform. And so does it fit in the guidelines of radio and television broadcasting? But the real issue is the data. Right, they're saying that the Chinese are stealing data from American citizens, But there's a couple. I mean, the sale is one issue. The data is another issue. But there are some people who are saying, like, what about freedom of speech, which is a constitutional
There's no such thing,
right? How does that work? Because you're not going to fine American citizens and residents for using the app, but you will try to ban the platform that they're using. So there's a lot of issues there. Ultimately, the road that it looks like it's headed is toward, it's just going to be banned because, again, $150 billion transaction on a high end within the next 100, and that was early last week. So the countdown is on to 180. I mean, we've seen some of these transactions with Microsoft and Activision, and that process is still going through, right? That's a $67 billion transaction.
Yeah.
How do you speed this thing up? How do you expedite it? I don't know how I haven't seen it happen at this scale, at that price. It just feels like all signs are pointing into it getting banned.
I think there's a 0% chance that TikTok gets banned.
Okay.
Thank you.
0%. And I feel like when
people don't even have the money to buy it. It's like Vanguard and Apple could buy it.
Well, that's if they sell it.
Well, no. So here's the thing.
The other just before, because there's two things, right? They can sell it or they're going to ban it.
All right.
Is this political gesture, Rashad? This is like when Trick told him not to. Well, y'all couldn't flop when Trick told y'all to, but it's similar though.
So yeah, some people really tried it.
Politics as usual. Look, there's a 0% chance that TikTok is not on your iPhone 6 months from now. A few ways how this plays out. It's political grandstanding, and it just it doesn't get through the Senate somehow, and they still keep fighting about this for the next couple years.
Yeah. If
it actually does get through the Senate, and then the president signs it into action, and they are forced to sell the company, they'll probably already have a buyer already lined up, and it's going to be either Microsoft or Apple or one of these huge companies. Well, I said Meta tried. Meta already. So they're looking.
They're not letting Meta do it. Yep.
But this is how you gotta look at, because this is how you gotta look at the playing field, right? Meta tried to acquire TikTok, right, and got denied by the U.S. government. So, as an intelligent person, put this in the comments. Looking at the situation, what does this is like deductive reasoning? What does this tell you? What does this tell you?
Wall Street, or either lobby for him not to be able to get it, or some people in politics don't like Zuckerberg enough to let him have a monopoly.
They already wanted to sell the company.
Yep.
Right. They already wanted to. Everybody. It's like the prosecutor and the district attorney. It's like the defense attorney and the district and the prosecutor. They all go to lunch at the end of the day. They're all friends. Chinese, American, they all talk. They're talking in back channels.
We need each other.
It's like, come on, like all of this is just for the public to. They all in communication with each other. If they already wanted to sell the company, then they already have a buyer lined up for this sale, right?
Here's the wrench in it, right? The Chinese, ByteDance is a Chinese company, right? They've said that they're not allowing it to be sold at all. So you're saying it is going to exist because it's being sold?
There's a thing called saying something in public.
No, I'm asking you. Are you saying it's going to exist because it's going to be sold?
I gotta finish my communication.
Yeah,
there's a thing called saying something in public. This is politicians do this all the time. Mm-hmm. I'll never support Donald Trump. And then when the Republican Party says you got to sign a letter to support Donald Trump, they sign a letter.
You're right there.
It's all politics. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's not real. You can't believe what's said in the public. It's a thing called propaganda. And America is great at propaganda, but America's not the only propagandist. Chinese are propagandists. Russians are propagandists. Mm-hmm. The whole entire world is in the propaganda business. So what I'm saying is that TikTok is not going. When you have 1 billion people that's using it, or however many people is using it,
yes,
it's a thing called too big to fail. Mm-hmm. Too much power. They're not going to take away.
Number one in the must-have apps in the App Store,
and too many people are making money from it. Too many Americans are making money from it. So they're grandstanding and they putting out this thing and making it seem like it's a big fight or whatever. Like I said, either the Chinese keep control over it, or they sell it to an American and get rid of it and make a boatload of money, or they sell it to an American and still keep control of it. secretly. Option C, the option C play.
The Suge Knight play. Go ahead.
Option C play.
Sale-
You
so
can
the
like
sale is
it, but it's
called
mine.
It's called the puppet string. Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's
So
called the puppet master.
you're saying that it's going to be sold. Somehow, some way, it's going to be sold. Either whether we know or
No,
we don't.
it's a 50-50 chance because if the Senate doesn't pass it along, then they don't have to
They
sell
don't
it.
have to sell it, right?
So the 50-50,
Yeah.
it's a 50-50 chance. But if they do pass it along, it's not just going to vanish. They're going to,
No.
if they're forced to sell, then they will sell it to an American suitor, and everybody will make money from this situation. No, don't cry for the Chinese on this, guys.
No. Somebody's going to make money.
They're going to make a boatload of
Absolutely.
money.
Yeah, that's why I said 100 and 150 on the high end, right? But that deadline, you think that's
That's a
180.
tight window,
a
bro.
tight window?
This is a
That's the
distraction.
GDP of some
this-
countries.
And then you're talking about 6 months from now brings you to July, right? Brings you to July. Oh no, September. I'm sorry, we're in March. Brings you to September, which means you're about 2 months away from an election where, if that doesn't get signed, you get new leadership.
that
Who
what
knows
it
what
should-
happens?
Back to leadership. Is that what it should be focusing on?
This is what I'm saying. Like
This is
what we're
the distraction. They're trying to take away TikTok. They want to take away TikTok. If they want to take away TikTok, to censor what's being saw and what's being displayed
seen.
online. And they are trying to have Big Brother's hands in everything. They couldn't do it with Meta effectively because Mark Zuckerberg's too tapped in. Elon Musk controls the whole entire world, so nobody can say anything to X. So they picking the easiest person in this fight, a company that's owned by China. That's like saying something is owned by Russia. Once you throw Russia or China in something, it's easy to get the American public to just rally against it. And now it's about privacy. It was never about privacy. Google owns all of your privacy. Meta owns all your privacy. Apple owns all your privacy. Like, it's never about privacy. It was never about protecting American citizens.
The Patriot Act. Freedom of speech.
It was never about protecting American citizens. It's about censoring information. And how is the best way to go about it? Big Brother has his eyes on everything.
Who's in the event? Let's just say worst case scenario, this thing gets stalled out. This is suspension or something like that of it. Let's just say that happens. Who's the beneficiary? Is it directly Meta? Who's the
beneficiary of what?
If TikTok is down, TikTok is down for, I don't know, 2 weeks while they're trying to figure this thing out. Not saying there will be. Worst case scenario, doomsday, that it happens. Is it Meta? Is it X? Is it a Snapchat? Like
Google?
Is it Google? Who's the beneficiary in the event that worst case scenario happens?
Everybody's the beneficiary. All of the people that you just named. Those people. It's a phrase in the Urban Dictionary called "those people." If you study those people,
that's how you be feeling when I be talking. Hold on.
Every person in power.
Them? Are you speaking of them?
Yeah. Every person in power,
or they,
they. It's a
what pronoun?
Consortium. It's a consortium. So of course Google's going to benefit. Of course Meta's going to benefit. Of course X is going to benefit. Of course politicians that are invested in a variety of different companies are going to benefit. Everybody benefits.
Wait, you asked Nancy this when you saw her last week?
But this is what I'm saying. If all those people are going to benefit, they put the thumbs up on you.
Oh,
if all those people are going to benefit, imagine in the lobbying to make sure that this actually could happen.
Yeah,
of course.
Also, my argument 2 years ago, even with Meta and IG, make the product better so that there's not this threat there.
But you can't. But also you can't strong arm China. So that's what I'm saying. They have a lot of influence, but China has just as much or more influence. So
and we need them now.
Yeah,
more than ever.
So you're not going to tell China like give us this company and that's it. So they're going to benefit all of those people, all of the people that we just named, all of the higher ups, all of the look. They call the Magnificent Seven for a reason, right? There's 7 companies that run the world. If you want to be real about it, it's like Game of Thrones. There's 7 kingdoms. So the people that's running the world and running the financial economy are going to benefit, but China is not going to lose in this situation. If they sell, they're going to sell for a huge amount of money they're going to make a boatload of profit. If they don't sell, they're still going to keep control, or they're going to have some hybrid approach where they sell, make a bunch of money, and still keep some level of control as well. They'll make a compromise. It'll come through Congress that they can keep 50% of the company, but they have to sell the other 50%, and they have to promise not to keep data. They'll make some special compromise, and 6 months down the line, nobody even remember it.
What's stopping them from making a U.S. corporation and just selling it to themselves?
They could do that too. That's what I'm saying. That's the puppet master situation. I mean, I think it'll be difficult just to build a U.S. corporation out of nowhere and sell it for $100 billion. But I mean, they'll work closely with a major U.S. corporation and make sure all of these U.S. corporations do business in China. It's called, would you like to still do business with China or not? So if you would like to still do business in China, we need to figure out how we can make this entity work. And, we'll do some back paperwork and nobody will know about it. And then you can have your victory. You can say that you shut us down, whatever you want to say. Just keep the money coming in. The money, you can't stop the money.
If Elon would have waited 2 years and got off that ketamine and coke, boy could have had a home run. Instead, he bought X. This like when somebody bought Rockers Records instead of signing the locks. Shout out to Steve Rifkin, whoever. But hell of a missed opportunity, man. Like even with the Bruno Mars thing, there's lessons in there we can talk about later. But I think selection of what assets to buy will make or break your career. Now, of course, Elon's going to be fine in aggregate. TikTok is going to be fine, but I think this asset is too important. And like you said, like for the ecosystem of Apple and Google, you think they're going to they kick Fortnite off the platform. You think they're going to let TikTok go? Like Apple will tell you the VPN to download to then be able to use TikTok in China.
Yeah, there's a great article on CNN Business about ByteDance, and if TikTok or ByteDance is even a Chinese company, if you look at the ownership of who owns ByteDance.
Oh yeah. The diversity play.
Yeah, the diversity play. We got equity holders throughout the world.
Vanguard being one, right?
20% that are in the United States. So
you think Vanguard gonna let them just ban the biggest media, like going into an election too?
Well, that's where the headline is pointing, right? That's what I'm saying. So if you're giving them a deadline, if you're putting like these almost impossible barriers, you have to sell it within. I mean, the size of the sale would be too large to complete that transaction in 180 days.
Same.
And like what you led with is important, right? Like this is the issue that is bipartisan. This is it. This is the one.
You got a homelessness crisis. You got the immigrant crisis in New York. You got the border issue. Like what?
You think you go through TSA and they scan your eyeball and they have your fingerprint. You don't at this point in time a privacy issue or
facts.
Yeah.
What?
I got to do the Illuminati thing every
week. Your eyeball. But they literally have your eyeball.
But we did state the case of propaganda and how what's being shown to our population of youth and what's being shown to other populations of youth on the app are different. So we did make a case for that, and that could be concerned.
Yeah, well, there's methamphetamine that's in America that's getting promoted to the youth. That's not. If you
Absolutely.
go to,
I'm just saying the case we made,
and Tusi going crazy in Miami. Like,
everything is promoted to everything is available in America. America's for sale. So of course everything is going to be promoted. You got cocaine at tremendous amounts.
This fentanyl is
the fentanyl, all of that.
Crazy.
So what I'm saying
is somebody's life this weekend.
What I'm saying is
true story.
Wow.
Of course, America has an insatiable appetite for destruction. And that's something that, whether it's fast food, alcohol, nonsense on social media, fentanyl, I mean, at some point in time, they're providing the platform for us, but we're consuming it.
And on top of that, let's be very honest. This is part of my argument with Meta versus TikTok 2 years ago. Meta isn't innovating as quickly as TikTok. Like, think about this. I'm still able to monetize on Meta and y'all not, and I wasn't an advocate for 2 years. What kind of fucking sense does that make?
Facts.
I was going to open outcry to not support them, and I'm able to monetize. And TikTok Shop is booming. Like, there'll probably be maybe 30 or 40,000 displaced people if TikTok goes away. Also, a lesson for content creators: learn to diversify. Now they may not deliver like how Math Hoffa delivered. You fired out of nowhere. But at some point, the content creators are going to change the model and figure out a way not to pay. Risa Tisa went through it. Even when you said on Blackout, like, we haven't been able to monetize. I'm like, how? And we know people there. What? But that money from those views and those clicks and those likes and shares are still going to that company. Come on, man. Like, but I think American companies need to innovate more, and we are losing our luster. Like, the exceptionalism isn't there anymore. Even amongst media, like, you want to block people from learning the truth. Well, if you deliver the truth on CBS Now, Today, or whatever show, like, more people will tune in. People can know a lie. They feel the lies being delivered to them on a daily basis. McDonald's going through a crisis because no one wants to, like, for a family of four, the average price for a McDonald's meal is like $64 now. What? We have a lot more important things to focus on than
Subway sandwich, $18 with chips.
What?
$5.55. That's the $5 inflation, bro.
$18 for the
a lot changed since they locked Jared up.
for the tuna melt.
So that Jared joint was crazy. Jared, what?
No, you right, hell,
He went too far. He went way too far.
Hit the like button and shit. So this is what they should have just let Elon Musk have his monopoly in peace.
You think so?
We all could have benefited. Because you can't stop it. Like I said, they're gonna sell it. If somebody buys this company, it's gonna be one of these people that own the world anyway. It's gonna be Microsoft,
Bezos, or
Apple. It's gonna be one of these, a dark
if Apple gets TikTok. Oh my God.
So why not just have the person that's cornered the market in social media and just let him be the Rockefeller of our generation? At least I could have made some money off of it on the stock side.
But should one man have all that power?
They're gonna have all that power regardless.
Right?
Pick one. It's going to be Bezos. It's going to be Musk. It's going to be Zuckerberg, or it's going to be Cook. Which one? Which one you want? Which one you want? Somebody's gonna have it.
Gates.
Technology lord. Somebody gonna have it.
Even if they do a dark horse, sell it to IBM. Okay, well, I mean, they still like, it's like, no matter who you sell it to, the rich get richer.
Yeah.
And the people this doesn't help. This doesn't help the average American citizen. That's my whole point. Before we move on to the next, all of these this is just political grandstanding, acting like they're helping the Americans. How are you helping the Americans? Nobody's gonna benefit from this at all, except for people that are already multi-billionaires that are the heads of companies that are already ruling everything currently. That's the only people that's gonna benefit.
Does this hurts a political campaign, especially if you're looking for a younger demographic? That's who's on there, man. You been that, you're in trouble.
And the first, like, okay, this is the equivalent of like us focusing on how, like, what laundry detergent to use, and your light's about to get cut off. Like, people are starved. Like, what? This is the wrong fucking thing to focus on. Nobody cares.
We agree.
Nobody cares.
Okay. Speaking about Elon Musk, PayPal. Will PayPal ever recover, or will that be just an epic fail?
I know some analysts are saying that it's fallen far enough and it's time for it to recover. I see they're doing some things with AI. But it goes back to this case that I've been making for like the last year, that like America's lost its way. I think we got too comfortable. It could fall maybe to $43 at its lowest, but I don't see a case to buy PayPal. Like, I think we have to have a conversation about the entire industry of payment processing going through a recession, like, or a freeze, like with interest rates being up. Stripe missed their IPO. We all have had cases where money's been locked up in PayPal for 3 months, or Stripe, or etc. Stripe is getting like a quiet monopoly. I see they did their partnership with Kajabi and a couple other platforms, but I don't see how PayPal works themselves out of this hole that they've been in and getting back to 189. Like, COVID really hit them hard. And then Stripe emerged as the safer player and became the new PayPal of this generation. Like, if you talk to anyone young, PayPal is almost like an archaic platform. I know they tried to, tie themselves to crypto. Maybe if they would have launched a coin, it could have helped and got some of that crypto craze behind them. But I don't see anything in terms of leadership or innovation and products that will allow them for the stock to go back up. Like, I think it may be one of those companies that used to be great, but when you same with the the Spurs. No one talks about. Excuse me, the Thunder. All the talent they end up losing, or Houston, all the talent they end up losing over time. I don't think this company will ever emerge as like one of the top 50 stocks internationally ever again. But what do you guys think?
This is it's interesting. We talk about what we used to talk about a recession, and we used to talk about recessionary environments. And we talk about the market being great, right? Stock market hit all-time highs, and the NASDAQ is hitting all-time highs, and the S&P. But there are effects that are happening that we should be talking about, right? These are the casualties of interest rates, right? Like when interest rates are high, I know we're waiting for Fed cuts and we're like, oh, we can't wait. But like, no, there's real companies that are being affected. Payment processing is one of them. You talked about Dollar General, right? When you have something that's selling for $1 and the interest rates go up, guess what? You can't sell it for $1 anymore, bro. Like you can't sell it for $1. It's just not going to work. You're going to be out of business, and this is why you're going to have to close 600 stores. That's what happens. Like this is part of it. We saw it happen with regional banks, right? Banks make money, interest rate.
It's tighter.
If you don't have customers that are going to be able to get things at these rates, then you're not going to have customers and you're not going to make money. So like, yes, it's unfortunate, and this is part of business. And yes, the economy, when we look at the stock market, looks like it's doing really well, but there are pockets that they're
getting destroyed.
This is the recession for them. This is it. Yeah. And so like this is a part of business. So like when we watch the economy as a full thing, like if this was a map, we were looking at the sectors, like these are pockets where they're feeling the effects more so than others.
Operating margin 16%, profit margin 14% for a tech company. It's tough. Stripe missed their IPO window. I don't know if they have another IPO that would have been worth that valuation ever again. And Stripe relatively is a innovative company. Missed their window. I mean, PayPal at one point was at what?
314?
315. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like the thought of it even being at 48, going back to America, exceptionalism, it's a lot of pressure. A lot of companies did well when interest rates were zero. We've seen a lot of entrepreneurs come and go. And then all of a sudden, when those margins compress, please write this down. Like if you are a small business, I just find a small business, anything less than 200 million a year, your margins need to be at 50, 60% minimum, publicly traded. I don't like it unless you're at 22%. Apple's a multi-trillion-dollar company operating at 25% profit margin. You have to because at some point, people are going to stop buying. There's going to be a new player in town. Inflation happens, concession, legislation, something is going to change your model. Even for us, we got to factor in if the payment process will give us the money.
That's
like, damn, y'all worse than Suge and Trick with the no-fly zone. Like, what? Wait,
how long's it gonna take? We saw it. I mean, Square is a casualty of it. We watched it with a firm. These are those factors that will, when you look at a company, especially in these areas. Yeah, man. Sometimes the economic factor will determine how successful the company is going to be. This
people don't talk about it. Like the payment process are a derivative of banking. So unless you're the big three, JP Morgan, Bank of America, like you're in trouble. Like if I told you, like when we started the show, Credit Suisse would be in trouble, New York Community Bank will fall apart, Silicon Valley Bank is going to go under, like you'll be like, you are a fucking moron. No. I even seen the changes in social media content payouts and seeing a podcast break up. That's a part of inflation. Spotify, I like Daniel, but if we would have ran $2 billion into the ground, we've been called the biggest scammers all the time. Y'all blew $2 billion. I know you want to give Meek a milli. Hey, may not be the best idea. You're gonna get paid to get beat up on camera.
Right, the check in person. Right, the check in person
are compressing. Like even when Elon did the interview with Don Lemon, and Don was being Don, right? So Elon was bothered, but it was the first time I saw Elon in a long time be frustrated with a reporter and kind of signal some things in business are not going right. Bezos, the only one who's still on the yacht, like he was at my yacht party having a blast with a Latina. He the only one. Everybody else is head down working. I ain't heard Hov say nothing. They said Hov working on a project. I'm like, if Hov putting out music and Beyonce just came off tour, they're still working. Oh, there's some shit coming.
Zuckerberg sold 2 homes.
Bezos bought a $31 million mansion in Miami.
Yeah.
Sold 2 cribs
in California. He sold 2 houses in California. He sold a boatload of Meta stock.
shares. Man, and he deserved it for that run up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if all of like our figureheads, our Rockefellers of this era, Carnegies, are selling off and they're grinding their ass off, they know something's coming. When will the shoe drop? I don't know. Probably after the election, maybe February of next year. But they changed the definition of a recession, you know? Like, imagine owning Dollar Tree and be like, okay, recession's about to hit. We about to make a killing. And they changed the classification so you can't even bait rich people to go in and buy your store, and you got to raise prices on the lower end consumer.
Yeah.
Finito.
So the Don Lemon situation, how do you, because Elon, he's pretty much told him, like, I don't need to,
Did you watch it?
to do this with you.
I watched it.
Yeah. I'm
going to be honest. I like when Elon gets it. I like anybody who speaks that freely and is not politically correct. Shout to Alex Cart and all the short sellers on cocaine, right? But it's true he didn't need to sit down and do the interview, but Elon looked stressed. And we all, as business owners and CEOs, like, we know when things are a little bit tougher in the business, and you're like, I got to do this damn interview, and I got to call these people about even getting my money delivered. Like, who knows what crisis he's going through? But it was the first time that he was not calm. Normally, he's very gracious in the interview. Mm. I can tell he's bothered about some things that's going on politically. I mean, he has the fight with OpenAI, trying to keep Tesla afloat, SpaceX, Neuralink. It's a lot going on. And he's starting to be vilified a lot more. Like, he openly admitted to using ketamine to Bloomberg. We've never had a CEO say this.
What you kind of alluded to it earlier, and when I watched parts of it, I haven't watched in its entirety. The temperament was the first thing I looked at. The question from Don Lemon was just like, okay, even when he was trying to pry from a political angle, you met with Trump. What did you say to him? Did he ask you something? Are you supporting him? It was just kind of like, okay, you could kind of see he was pricking at him. What did you see that made you think there's some cracks in business?
If they had opened up a new plant, let's say in Shanghai, and the money got wired from CCP, I think he would have been a lot more joyous in that interview. There's certain tells, like when I'm watching it, I'm looking for the performative part and body language first, and then content second, right? I can tell he was bothered about some things that had more to do with the question. Don can be abrasive at times, I get that, but it felt like he was jarred. Like, same thing, like when a player misses 15 shots, he's a little bit more aggy than if you hit the Kyrie game winner with the left hand over Jokic, right? You're happy to do the interview. Yeah. You can tell a series of events is not going well. I mean, the acquisition of Twitter, stock is falling apart on Tesla, hedge funds are falling out of love with him. So now he's going into like his villain arc. I've dealt with that. I'm like, damn, I didn't see the villain part coming. And now he's kind of leaning into it, but that's usually happens when things are not going as well. Like Michael Jordan, eyes were yellow as hell when the Hornets were losing. Mike looks happy as hell now that he sold out of that position. So I just see that he isn't as calm as he used to be, or even in some of the interviews where he was a little bit more punchy, there was still some intellectual quips in there where you got some advice that was like life changing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't there with Don. A lot more pressure is on him today.
So Don was going to be for X, the platform from the video standpoint. Obviously, he had the situation with CNN and he was fired from there, was going to be at X. This interview doesn't work out, but it was interesting. He went back when everything had hit the fan and the news broke out. He was back on CNN talking about it.
Well played, CNN. They need the views. But Elon did the math hoffa and said, you're fired. Go home. It'll be your last one. They say hire slow and fire fast. Math got the fire fast part down. Yeah. Come on.
It's also a thing of I mean, when you don't have ownership, you got no choice but to go back to the work. If you're a worker, you're a worker in life. So Don Lemon, shout out to Don, but I don't necessarily know if he wants to have a platform and go back to CNN, but where else is he gonna go?
Yeah, and I've learned too, like through watching you guys, I had a conversation with Teray. He was like, even if you do want the spicy take, lead with loving questions and easy questions first. Then maybe after the fifth one, lean into. I can't come out, Mike Novogratz, do you think that your position in like, bro, I don't even know you. I have to do this interview. Like, you have to know where you are in the hierarchy. Richest man on earth, he don't have to answer anything. I get it, but from an interview and content perspective, I think he could have asked some better questions, especially with Neuralink, that probably would have led him to answer the Trump question later. But you know, it'll be fine. I'm concerned about Tesla stock, though. I really am.
How concerned?
I really think in terms of performance of car, I think that car BYD is way better. In terms of the stock, if it gets down to 180.13, that would be a great place to buy. But if it breaks to the 140s, 130s, it probably be the first time since I've been looking at Tesla that I would say that it's not a buy.
So let's talk BYD, because obviously the news came out that they were past Tesla in sales in China. You said it's a better car, not better company though, right? Just so we're clear. Or are you saying both?
No, I'm saying better car for right now. I haven't done enough for a year. You're not gonna get me.
I just want to make sure, because obviously the EV market, Tesla dominates. China's a big market that they want to obviously expand in, but there's other things that come with Tesla outside just the vehicles themselves. I
mean, even with that, but if we're gonna be honest, should Tesla have went from $23 to $414 in a year and a half?
We couldn't explain it then, and then it split twice.
Like, come on, like there's some engineering going on. I'll say that. Shotty, you want to run pistol 1-4 flat? What you want to do? It's like, come on, like I get it, and the allure of Elon, he's a multiplier in himself, but looking at the stats earlier, they've been in a drawdown. Stock's been dropping for 811 days. If you look, and then back to the used car thing, if you bought a car from Tesla that was $64,000 2 years ago, it is now worth $32,000. Soon Hov gonna be like, we won't drive Teslas, we give them to baby mamas.
Cybertrucks on the road. Cybertrucks hit the road. Superchargers are popping up. I know Rivian is now able to use the superchargers. I know Ford was already signed up. This is a market that they can actually see revenue in, obviously, as they try to figure out the pricing scale for some of their EVs. So is all bad for Tesla?
I would ask, what three bright spots do you see? I think they delivered the truck too late. The truck looks fire. Saw one yesterday. Amazing, right? But you can't be a luxury discount brand. I know I get shit for it all the time in terms of my pricing. The thing that they won't mention, net margin. Everyone who is competing against me selling $9 a month and stealing my picks, they're gone. Back working at Arby's. I would love a mocha shake, my boy. Okay. but you have to pick a very clear delineation. Are you going to be luxury? Are you going to innovate? But it's really hard. Like, I'm being honest. It's stressful for me to work on a presentation and present at InvestFest, let alone if I had to run it and Stock Club and a car company and a Neuralink company that can make Caesar from King of the Chimps talk. He got a lot of shit on his plate, yo. Like, I commend him for it. And the thing that's not same with LeBron. Elon is too important to the American economy to lose. GM smacked, Ford smacked, like our automotive industry in shambles, Boeing in shambles. And if it wasn't for those government contracts that they end up getting every year, they would be in free fall right now. United, shambles, Spirit, caca, right? We have whole sectors, like even like, look at this from an investment standpoint. What's happened to biotech the last 2 years? Space is almost uninvestable.
Slow motion.
It's tough. Like, media floundering. And that's the crazy, because even with that, like, we should be the new faces of media, but there's politicking and positioning around that to put that glass ceiling that we got to break through. It's like, bro, like, come on. Shout to Castanot, shout to the creators of the cooking. But it's like, why doesn't Castanot have a show on NBC? Why don't we have a show on CBS? Or like, what? Like, going back to CNN, when I found, like, y'all getting Skip Bayless. Oh, talk about fumble of the decade.
Whoa. Woo.
You 50,000 views a show? Wrap it up, my boy. Spit it through Santo. Go ahead, lay down. Say 3 Hail Marys and call it a day.
Yeah, 90% decline in viewership.
We need dramatic innovation, but we need newer faces and newer ideas to come in and want to innovate.
It's true.
Get your tickets to InvestFest. I'm hoping it's in Houston. I really am. Oh my God. I'll go to the building every day. Yup. Stage looking good, sound good. Got you.
And
Kiati, what up?
We got some different, because you know that the story of InvestFest, I don't think has even really never been properly told of how many vendors actually won, how many people actually changed their life just from being in the building. You know, it's always about the celebrities, and that's important, but there's so much stuff. So we got a lot of things this year that is focused on impact as far as monetary wise for the average person, but also just, you know, creative experiences. You always got to stay, you got to constantly reinvent yourself. You can't do this.
Innovate.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
It's important. All right. Let's stay in the car vibe. State of the automotive industry. You want to talk about a few automotive companies?
Yes, I'm not in love with almost any of them.
But you want me to shoot you a few?
Yeah, shoot them to me.
All right, man. Well, let's start with Ford. I talked about Ford. We talked about the charging that is going to be used by Tesla. Let's start there. Ford,
at $12.15 is a bargain value company. I like it at, if it gets to $3.18 or $5, I would potentially buy it. Any other price other than that, I don't like it. They were decent when Alan Mulally took over after the last recession, but Ford, I would not invest in long term. Another company that's also been affected greatly by inflation. Then if we go to GM's done a little bit better. It's at $42.55. I liked it if you got it at a price during 2020, like at $19 to $20. If it ever got back there, I would take a stab at it there.
How about Toyota, the number one selling car in America?
I'm going to hold steadfast to my theory that you should not invest in companies that have an engine in them. Toyota is at $23.78. The high was in 2007 at a 111. Has not recovered since then, and then it dropped dramatically during COVID. The one bright spot I do see is an auto parts maker, ticker PATK. Patrick Industries has been on fire. It looks like a tech chart. Too high to buy right now. It opened up this year at $100. Is at 114. You got to wait for it to pull back, but I will put PATK, Patrick Industries, on my watch list as well. So the automotive space, in terms of the cars I don't like, but Patrick Industries and AutoZone I do like as part makers and exposure to the auto space. And if the big boy Tesla's down, Ford and GM is going to be down. Like, we have to look like every car company now is a luxury car company. The new used car, I mean, the new cars that are coming out that are supposed to be like entry level are now $31,000, $35,000. There's no more $10,000 cars. No more 15. It's over with. Like, Dave Ramsey, you got to change your model for that part of your 7-step series. Like, there's no $5,000, $10,000 cars anymore.
There's no 15. Everything is 25, 24 and above. Like, even if you try to get like a Toyota Corolla, like a Honda Civic, these things are over 20 plus.
Pricey, yo.
Easy.
So
shout out to everybody that owns one.
Yeah.
What about Lucid? Everybody was big on Lucid during the pandemic. This is going to be the challenger. This is the EV. Look at how sexy they look. It's going to challenge Tesla. Hasn't worked out.
Has not worked out well. Hell of a decline from 64 there, $2.76. Anytime something is named the X killer, it's never the Jordan killer, the Kobe killer, the Iverson stuff. It never worked. You couldn't stop Mateen Cleaves. How are you stopping Kobe? Like, no. Like, Lucid, no. Ferrari may be a company that we haven't talked about enough. Ticker is Race. They're doing pretty good, but once again, high price point, high margin, high reinvestment. I think the automotive space overall is in danger, and I think we're going to end up losing that EV race to China overall. better innovation, more people to buy it. We built their middle class and upper middle class. So
how you feel about Bruno Mars owing allegedly owing $50 million to MGM for back gambling debts?
I think when you sent this yesterday, I was befuddled. I thought it was a typo. I think there's a couple good personal finance lessons, and I'll let you guys dive into that. But on a trading perspective, Shadi, you brought it up. The house is always going to win. So number one, know how many hands or how many trades you're going to take in advance. You have to know your risk to reward ratio. And then thirdly, it's a lesson that people need to know. Sometimes people will give you money to find a way to take it back from you. Remember I said last week, as you get rich, everyone's going to find a way as soon as you walk out the door to take money from you. It just happens to be the people that he is doing business with. So in trading, risk to reward is really key. Knowing when to walk away, not being on leverage. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And then you have to know when to be able to walk away. It's sad, but if he's making 90 a year, he owes 50, allegedly. How long will he have to be in those residencies to be able to pay that debt off, and how much interest is on it? So from a trading perspective, those are my top lessons, but I want to swing it back to you guys on the educational side. Like, what personal finance tips would you give from his situation?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Bruno Mars, man. One of the greatest
Entertainers for sure.
Performers and entertainers, musicians of our generation for sure. And legendary in every aspect of his career. I think it speaks for a few different things. I mean, of course, the discipline and not having vices, that's beneficial, right? When you reach high levels of success, then you have higher levels of temptation. And I never forget, like, even when Tiger Woods got caught cheating on his wife. Remember, this was like 15 years. It was a long time ago when he first got caught cheating on his wife. And then I was like listening to like ESPN radio, and one of the guys was like, why would he cheat? He had somebody so beautiful. Like, why would he cheat? I would never cheat on my wife. Well, I'm like, well, you never had the opportunity to cheat.
Jason Whitlock. Come on, bro.
It's one thing to say things until you actually are put into that temptation. So with great, like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. With great power and a lot of money come great temptations.
Mm-hmm.
Great temptations. And the more money you get and the more stature you get, the more temptations you get.
Yeah.
So be mindful when you're on your journey to success that discipline is needed, because nobody's above destruction on any level. When it comes to relationships, don't exceed the limits.
Tune into this week's episode of Blackout.
That's a fact.
Don't exceed the limits. That's very important. So that's one aspect. But then the house always wins. And how I look at it is that it's no different. Like the movie Casino, they said if they keep them playing long enough, they're gonna end up losing.
They'll give it back.
That's in life, though. That's in life. So like when the Japanese guy in the movie, he won like millions of dollars, and then Sam Rothstein, they did something to his plane, so his plane couldn't leave. And then they comped him. They gave him a free room. They gave him champagne. They gave him some whatever he wanted. They just kept him playing. Then lo and behold, he ended up losing everything. So in the music business, what used to happen is that Lee Cohn give you a check for $1 million, and your first stop was to Jacob the jeweler to buy a $500,000 chain, right?
With fake diamonds in it before the Mosenites.
So the ecosystem kept the money coming back. It's a boomerang philosophy. We'll give you the money, but you're gonna give it back to us. And that's extremely important to be mindful, because it's like, okay, you're getting paid $90 million a year. That's a lot of money. Well, 50% of the money is gonna go to taxes, right? So now you're really getting paid $50 million. Now, when you deduct your lifestyle, housing, all of these different things, you might be netting $20 million. So if you owe $50 million, so now we got you 2.5 years of free labor, really, right?
Or don't have another shutdown and you start staggering the shows.
Exactly. So now we got anywhere from 2.5 to 4, like you said, depending on your frequency of shows, 4 years of free labor. You're going to give that money back to us. And just the irony of having a residency in a casino, making so much money in the casino, for the casino and for yourself, but then owing the casino. My thing is, how do you even get to the point where you owe 50 million?
That I think,
right?
I'm glad that's the part I wanted to start with, because I've actually supported this show. I've been to the Vegas show twice just because he is one of the greatest performers of any generation. And the math just didn't math for me, right? Even at that number, if you're getting 90 million, right? The state tax in Nevada is 4%, federal tax. I'm just trying to figure out, 25%, 26%.
I don't think there is any state tax in Nevada.
Yeah, well, sales tax.
Sales tax.
Right. So I'm thinking like, all right, that's a percentage, but you still up 20, right? What I didn't take into account when I originally saw that post was that it's kind of like what you said. Sometimes vices in life can take a hold of you, and if you don't have the discipline to control them, they can.
But if I put the vices in your room,
but the vice originally wasn't gambling.
Sprinkle.
If you followed his career, his original vice was drugs, right?
I don't know if it was a vice. The boy got caught out there with coke.
No.
That's not alleged. No, that's happened. He got, but I'm not going to say the full-fledged.
No, but he's
Eddie Kane.
No, I'm not saying he's
recreational.
No, he talked about his struggle. He's talked about his struggle very candidly.
Recreational.
But that vice, you're right. You change that vice, and now it becomes the addiction to performing, right? Like that's an addiction. Like the entertainment business becomes the addiction for him.
Have to.
Well, now you're in Vegas. Now there's another vice that's and there's temptation there. At what point, right? Because I'm just trying to map that. If he made the $90 million, that was the contract, and I think they broke it down to what he was doing, like almost 2.5 million a show, right? And he's there. I mean, he did like 50 shows in the first year. I'm just. What kind of gambling are we doing?
But they probably giving him lines of credit, million here.
And like even Shannon said he had a friend who watched him gamble and lose 17 million in one night. Also, too, if you in one night. Now, if you add up the interest, okay, let's be honest with the audience and each other.
Okay.
We friends. If you give me 90, Shawty, you figured out a way to get 320 back or no?
If you gave me $90 million?
If you give me 90.
Okay.
By InvestFest, you making 350, ain't it? You don't think MGM figured out a way? Like, yo, we're gonna get this boy 90, pack the house, inflation going up. This is the crazy part. Probably even in this contract, let's say the tickets were selling for 200, tickets going for 500 now, and you're still working off the 200.
They were 500, bro. They was pricey.
It's a few ways how the devil is very deceitful. So as I said, don't exceed the limits and don't make enemies with people that are extremely powerful. There's another way to look at this situation. One way is who okayed him to get in debt 50 million. Another story is who leaked the story. So another scenario is that he owes 50 million and said, I'm not paying. And they say, okay, well, now we're just going to publicly embarrass you.
Yeah.
And now everybody's going to know that you're a degenerate gambler who owes $50 million. We're going to get the money back.
Image.
And the 50 was an estimate. They said it could actually be more, but that is true, right? Like if you do lines of credit and you don't actually have it, like, oh, put it on my book, and you never pay in cash, and they know you're good for it because you live here. At some point, you got to pay that bill.
Got to pay the mob. Come to the mob.
Got to pay the mob.
Everybody, look. Everybody has their vices. Nobody's perfect, but me, I don't gamble. I never gamble. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs because I'm very mindful.
We seen you shooting dice, bro. We seen you. Fuck.
I'm very mindful not to exceed the limits because these are games where few people win, the vast majority of people lose. The vast majority of the people that use drugs, it doesn't work out beneficially. It doesn't work out beneficially for them. Few people are Elon Musk, and they can occasionally take drugs and they can operate at a very high level and they change the world. But a lot of people are going to end up strung out.
Rare. Yeah.
Gambling, a few people's going to make a lot of money, and you could become a professional poker player or whatever. But the vast majority of people that gamble are degenerate gamblers that end up ruining their lives, risking their families. They have rehab for gambling. It's a serious thing.
It's an addiction.
So it's like
a real thing.
This is a financial conversation because you can learn about stocks and you can learn how to make money. But if you have vices, women can be a tremendous vice for men.
Yep.
you're going
Control
to
it.
everything that you work to build, you're going to end up losing it.
Cause that might be a
Especially if you got a ginger on your arm.
that might be a topic.
What?
Women as a vice.
It can be a vice.
Can be. I'm saying.
Of
Can
course.
be.
I mean, what you said is very
If
interesting,
you
right?
exceed the limits.
If you exactly says it could be a topic.
What's the limit?
No.
Wait for blackout.
Ocho Cinco.
He said one too close to none.
Got
What-
you. A pyramid.
This joke,
Jokes,
just
please,
jokes,
please,
ladies and
please,
gentlemen, written by 85
Please,
South,
please.
Cat Williams, and
And some more.
I'm Dave Hollister with it.
Oh, boy.
One woman man. Like what you said is
Let's-
important, right? Because if you have that vice in gambling, and I'm glad you brought up stocks, sometimes that vice and kind of the habits and the discipline, not the lack of discipline in that vice can actually leak over into a different discipline. And so what you did in gambling, now you feel like, all right, I'm learning about the stock market. Now it leaks into that. And so that becomes the gambling itself.
That happens a lot.
Right. So like, it's interesting. Like most people don't talk about that part of it. Yeah, I know how to gamble. I never really understood cards and anything. I never played them, but I can see how people would take risks and take chances and lead that over into another discipline and have pretty much the same results. Like you're going to lose here. And if you're not disciplined and if you're not structured, you're not educated to a certain extent, you're going to lose in that one as well.
well, that's why I always say gambling is a game of chance, investing is a game of knowledge. But investing can become synonymous with gambling when you take the knowledge out of it and then you just use change. So if you're just doing daily options on X, Y, and Z pharmaceutical company because you just happen to get a hint from your barber that they're coming out with a new version of Viagra, well, that's gambling, right? And once again, this is the reason why most people that trade options lose. This temptation is something that is extremely interesting if you study human psychology, because in all of these type of situations, your percentage, if you play the lottery, your percentage of winning is very
low.
But somebody wins, somebody does win. So that they dangle the carrot in front of you and they make it look so appealing that you forget about discipline, you forget your rational way of thinking, and you throw all of that out the window and you take tremendous risks. And most of the time, you're going to end up losing in life. In life.
Yeah.
Everything, drugs, gambling on the stock market, going to Colombia to get your wife. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. Passport.
I can't find something in Cartagena, Medellin. What we do?
You can find something.
Nah, you definitely could find
What's the
something.
long-term ROI?
Yeah. Hey, shout out to all you passport bros. They killing y'all. Y'all better stop.
Shout out to
Y'all tax money.
You're gonna lose.
The cartel and not playing. And I'm not joking. They killing y'all now. Stop.
You're gonna stop. You're gonna lose.
Yep. And let's be honest, the higher up you go, can we talk about this? The more discipline. Like even my friends, I mean, I'm surprised when you be going out, you don't have 8 of them with you. I'm like, that's lawsuit, finesse.
Them? Who's them? Who's them?
Some 3 pyramids, right? 3 threes, right? Like you can't spend all your money. And it's interesting from him to be in the music industry. These are record label games that the casino played with him. But the music industry, which the music industry is a spinoff of casinos, which come from the mob, it's the same business model. Great. If I know if anybody gives me 90, they're figured out a way to make 3 or 4x off of it before that wire hit.
It's a reason why casinos are in existence. They're not in business to lose money.
No.
Yeah, it's rare a casino goes out of business.
So what does that mean? That means that they're making money from gambling. That to tell you right there, the business model is for you to lose. Anytime it's a business model for me to lose, that's a bad business.
Yeah, I can't be involved.
The business model, if too many people are winning, then the business is going to go.
It will break the
DraftKings, anything. So the business model has to be, we have to get at least half, but more than half of the people, at least probably 80 to 90% of the people have to lose on a regular basis for us to maintain profitability, for us to make big payouts to the people that win. So that's a great business lesson. If the business model is that you are almost a guaranteed loser, that's probably not a business that you want to be a customer in.
And when you win, they're gonna like number one, they're gonna try to keep you there. But Vegas has done such a great job. Like now, like they have shops inside of the hotel. So
Oh
number
my.
one, they're gonna make sure if you win, you don't have to go
You're
anywhere.
gonna give that money right back
Spend it right here. We're gonna put the restaurants in here. We're gonna put all the designer clothes stores in here. We're gonna put the concerts in here. You're gonna give it back to us somehow.
And even the brokerages. I tell everyone in Stock Club this all the time. Please join invest.com. You can't make so much money off the brokerages that you become a threat to them. They have a threshold. Like when people are trying to like layer 8 trades on top of each other 4 or 5 days a week, you're going to start to see your entries not get filled. Like this has literally happened to me. Like, no, you can't be a threat to those that you. So I shot it, Troy. I think it's a good lesson. You have to know the business model of who you're doing business with.
Look at the count. So like even for people that are trading, look at the bottom of your account and go to like your transactions. They're keeping a tracker on it, right? And so like
absolutely.
If when you opened your account, you said that you're gonna make 10 to 12 trades a month, or you're gonna 10 to 20 or something, whatever the number is.
Start doing 30.
You start going over that. All right, let's see if those things get filled.
Only Jay-Z said this in 1994. You're only a customer when you are walking in the presence of hustlers. And I think LL actually said it. Jay-Z sampled it.
Yeah.
Shout out to LL.
That was a good autocorrect by you. Shout out to LL.
American public school system, very similar.
Big fact. Talk about it.
Too many people win. Who's the loser? It's a seesaw game. You gotta have enough losers. You gotta have more losers so some people can win. It's a seesaw.
It's in all aspects of life. You need to have more employees than you have CEOs.
But
right, it's just not gonna work.
Especially in America, like you need, even this revolution that we're doing and teaching people, they changed the algorithm too. Like as soon as you said that you weren't monetized, I'm like, oh, y'all waking up and freeing too many people at one time.
Yeah, once them ADP numbers start coming up too high, that means people are being self-employed and they're figuring out ways to pay their own employees. Hold on, hold up.
Like even with the TikTok ban, think of it like in Meta 2 when Isaac was on. How many people are leaning on the gig economy to be content creators because there's not enough jobs available? Like the signs are everywhere. So if Bruno's down 50, allegedly, right? And Meek is selling 6,000 because he's talking about independence and freedom. They're playing a lot of games to stop people from becoming free.
Meek, call my phone. Meek, call my phone. Check your DM. I sent you a DM. Call my phone. I got some ideas.
We know some people.
AB, AB, this would be AB's dream, yo.
Call my phone. Let's make it happen.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about the Dollar Tree stock. Dollar Tree, where nothing is a dollar. But okay, Dollar Tree stock tumbles on earnings. It plans to close 600 Family Dollar stores. Would you consider buying this stock?
I would. It's actually been a pick in Stock Club for a while. I like it at $92.15, and then maybe at like $116.30 are the two areas that I have it. I think they overexpanded. I think they were anticipating a recession hitting. Well-run business, good management, but I mean, if you are closing 600, there's probably 800 you need to get rid of. That's a lot of costs going into real estate. I know everyone wants to do the McDonald's real estate play, but their model is different. And that's why when you start to copy or expand too fast during a zero interest rate environment, it can hurt. We had 15 years where like the interest rates was 0 to 3%. And now if that payment, like commercial real estate, and no one's talking about it, what people went through in 07 and 08 with the balloon payments, commercial companies are going through that now. Costs are doubling everywhere. Shout out to Fertitta for buying up all the River Oaks here in Houston. I think he bought it for 500. They're estimating it'd be worth 2.2 in 6 years.
Yeah.
So clearly if that increase is going to happen, inflation is going to continue to go higher. But I think we are at a very interesting point in business where it's going to be like the reverse of the roaring 20s or the 1920s. And this is going to be an era where everyone is going to have to restructure their business to get the most profit out of it and start to hit margins that we've never seen before and give more value than ever. Even in this stock club offer, this is the reason why, like, I send it to you guys like, damn, it's a lot, but it's like, I want to over deliver because of the time that we are in. And when we make it out of here, I think we'll be heroes, but I think they had too many businesses, and it's the same with Disney. I think the real estate costs were too high and they had to get the cutting.
It's a vicious cycle when you think about it. When you think about Dollar Tree, these discount stores, where do they predominantly exist? Low income areas for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And so when we talk about interest rates, you're talking about people who have income, not fixed income, but the income that is budgeted for,
Not as much disposable,
right? And inside of some of these areas, you have food deserts where you don't have the retail supermarket. And so Dollar Tree becomes a place that people go for items, right? When you talk about inflation, you talk about interest rates rising, when things can't become as affordable, people can't buy them, right? If you look at their report, why did their earnings fall? Well, they said the interest rates are high, but what also has increased is shoplifting, right? And we saw that happen when Walmart closed stores in around Chicago, right? They closed stores.
Yeah.
They said, look, the interest rates, but the shoplifting is at all time. If people don't have it, they're gonna find a way to get it. And if my kids got to eat, we're gonna figure this thing out.
Figure it out.
And so it's tough, right? Like these are the economic factors that play out, but on a company that is in neighborhood. So like you close down these stores, then what replaces it?
Grifters. That's the favorite word online, right?
Right. Like you got to think about the environments right. So, I mean, it's a tough proposition. So like when we're talking about, yes, the economy is great. People are telling you the economy is great. There are pockets where, for
the world to do.
For a lot of people that are doing well, it's great. But there are a lot of pockets throughout our community specifically that, this is hitting home a little bit different.
To lead into the interview Tuesday, Barbara has been a legend in real estate forever. Is she working less now or more?
More still. See?
Yeah, she's on it.
Robert Smith, is he working less or more?
More.
That's what I'm saying. Of all the icons that are like set, are still working hard. Do you guys know anybody rich is just like chilling like 4 or 5 days a week?
Nah.
Not one. There's something coming. There's something coming. I got way less texts this year about, hey, let's go to Bahamas, Turks, da-da-da. I know y'all went, leisure's been earned, right? But out of my circle, I know way less people that's been like, they're like, no, I'm grinding this year. Talk to Chad. He like, hey, I got this idea. I got this. Love what y'all doing. Love the diversification and content. Like, the world is changing. Mr. Beast has a new show coming out. Like, WWE still leaning on the rock. NBA still needs LeBron. They can't afford to let legacy acts even retire right now. So, but going back to the business, profit margin, 5%, 5.7%. That's a tough business model. And if interest rates are at 4%, you're damn near at break even. What do? You come to InvestFest and learn how to get rich from the market. That's what you do.
That's what you do.
Yep. I mean, that's the solution.
Or you join the Red Panda Stock Club. Red Panda Stock Club.
Left-handed. That was left-handed.
Invest.com. This is the semi-annual offer. Semi-annual offer, 48 hours only. That gives you access to Stock Club for 3 years. If you can't make money in Stock Club for 36 months,
you fucked up. If we get demonetized for that, just I'll send the wire for it. But you fucked up. If you've been around me 4 years and they made no money, it is on you. Have y'all made money when we put yes in chat? Like, come on.
The offer is for 3 years of Stock Club, 5 years of Sniper, which is trading, teach you how to trade. Gives you the 5 best stocks, gives you favorite short targets, gives you the calls on so many different things. It's on the website. IanInvest.com. Last time we did this was InvestFest, and then it was over after that. 3-year bundle, 36 months, price targets, when to get in, information on trading, life-changing information. As I said,
altcoins, where to get in on Bitcoin. Like, come on.
You can't learn in school that will change soon because we have developed financial literacy curriculum. Ian, if you wasn't aware of that, public schools only. This is what is called a labor of love. Sometimes in life, it's about doing the right thing. And when you do good, the law of reciprocity means that good will come to you in return. Seeing millions of kids with little to no information when it comes to finances, how do you expect them to survive in the world? Yes, financial literacy for children.
You can do good and do good.
Shout out to the Bronx.
Right.
First stop, then expansion after.
Where it all started, man. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to PS93. That's where I walked into my first place of education as a kindergarten student. And shout out to 11X287, where I walked into as a professional.
And shout out to Travis Brown.
Shout out to Trav.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. The borough.
I want another topic. IanInvest.com. Stock club sale. 3-year bundle. 48 hours only.
What you got?
Date it or dump it.
You want to do it? Ian, let's do it. Yep. What we gonna throw out? All right, let's start with Ulta. Let's start with Ulta. Ticker ULTA.
Some people, I mean, because of recent news, like we're saying that they should get rid of it, but Ulta's still fine. So I'm taking it on a date. I like the price. Maybe if it gets back to $455, but if in that beauty market, them and ELF are two players that cannot be denied. Definitely a dated for Ulta for sure.
Love Ulta.
You gotta go get your setting spray for your girl. Your girl going there get the little powder, pop. Like Ulta running the bag up. So I don't know what people are saying. And then they've been on a tear since 2012.
And they're everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm starting to see ELF commercials now, man. They're everywhere too.
ELF cooking. Write my check, please. I'm the only man that was advocating for ELF beauty. What's up?
we got the receipts. That's a fact.
Ulta, you know how I knew Ulta was a good company to invest in is that once my niece, she's like 9 years old, and she goes into Ulta and goes crazy and buys all this stuff. And you always want to skew young.
Yep.
In life, you want to skew young.
Yep.
That's the
customer life cycle.
Joe Biden's having a problem right now because he's not skewing young. He has support amongst senior citizens and 70-year-olds and 60-year-olds, but
they call them baby boomers.
He's not skewing young.
Baby.
You have to skew young. The companies that failed to skew young was like the IBM, was like a lot of these companies, right? They just kind of fell off. Apple has always skewed young. Meta has skewed young. That was their thing when they purchased Meta. When they purchased Instagram, they skewed young. You have to find a way to skew young, and Ulta Beauty seems to be skewing young. There's a tremendous community online for beauty influencers, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Twitter and YouTube.
They've mastered
the tutorials. The makeup industry has been around since ancient Egypt, not going anywhere. We saw Rihanna become a billionaire because of cosmetics. As long as, and I think it's even more pressure now because of social media and all of that. So
absolutely,
the filters is in real life.
I'm telling you, the products are crazy. Like your niece, they're coming home with products. I'm like, what is this? Why do you need a face?
What is that?
You got a beautiful skin. Why you have this? Like you have beautiful eyelashes. Like what? They just buying products just because. Like they probably saw it on TikTok or on Instagram. Yeah. Now I need it. So yeah, I'm with you. They're still young. Ian, we talked about Tesla when we talked about the charging stations. But during the pandemic, everybody was going crazy over this next company, Blink Charging, ticker BLNK, Blink Charging. What's your thoughts? They've had a tumble effect over the past 2 years.
Yep. You got to reach the teeth of this one. You got to just leave it and let it complain. At one point, it was $64.50. It is now at $2.73. I'm good. There's not enough EVs. I don't even think our grid can handle if there was a bunch of charging stations in every city. And the fact that they're not in lead and don't have a partnership with any of the top 2 EV makers, You got to dump this one. You got to leave this one behind. No go.
Whew. Okay. Let's
I wouldn't even took this one on a date to begin with, but it's a for sure dump.
For sure. It's over.
Let's switch gears for
over.
a quick sec. Shout out to Oprah. She dropped her joint tonight, her Weight Watchers thing. Y'all can watch that after this. Marjorie Pharmaceuticals. Everybody's been talking about Ozempic. We're talking about Zepbound. We talked about Moderna. Marjorie Pharmaceuticals. There's been some news that they have something to say when it comes to pharmaceutical companies that are going to change healthcare in the future. Ticker is MDGL. What's your thoughts?
This is one that's like flying under the radar a little bit. I don't like it at this price, but if I can get it like at 145 or 148, I'll take it on a date. You know, little cruise around town, West Side Highway vibes, Brooklyn chop real quick, maybe one real quick. Yeah, I like it. I wouldn't marry it, but I would give it a swing at 145, 150. They've had trouble the last maybe 3 or 4 years back. Very volatile stock because they range between that 400 to 300 price range, so they're almost at the top now. But if they fell back, I would definitely date it.
Yeah, that run up at the end of 2022 is unprecedented. You see that?
Yeah, insane.
$66 and shot up to 280.
Yeah, hell of a push.
Wow.
Hell of a push. But this one of them stocks, like when they take the makeup off, you know what I mean? It ain't the same.
Is she bad?
So, shout out to the ladies when you take the makeup off with the makeup wipes, you look the same. Eyebrows be proportional. Hey, baby.
Well, nobody looks the same.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. We went over. That's not true.
Some of them be in a different stratosphere. You know what I mean?
Looks the same. Nobody looks the same. You can still look good.
No,
nobody looks the same.
No,
Shawty, you know what I'm saying.
That's not true.
It is very much true. The whole point of makeup is to make you up, right? It's enhancing something. It's changing some aspect of how you look.
But you can still look the same.
You don't look the same. Exactly the same.
No, we didn't say exactly the same.
Yeah.
You might not be a completely different person, but what I'm saying is that everybody looks different when they take off makeup. Every single woman that wears makeup, when they're no longer wearing makeup, does not look exactly how they looked when they wore makeup. So the idea
they still look like themselves is what I'm saying.
If you're being kept in literal,
some of them get the contour in the nose and the jaw and all that. Like if you
some of it is like
makeup wipes, you're doing too much. And the oil-based balm and all, like
oil-based balm, turmeric powder.
Like, what are we doing? But Shawty, go ahead. 1-4 flat. I got you.
1-4 flat.
Yeah.
Shout out to the makeup industry.
Yes.
Cosmetic industry. Business is booming.
On fire.
Yeah. Shout out to all the estheticians that are making it happen. Y'all doing an amazing job. Yep. Amazing.
I'm seeing some of y'all men with makeup on too. Let's not act
a ton, and y'all ain't been on TV one motherfucking time, boy.
You're not low.
I've seen somebody work like
I don't want to dap you and I get the makeup here and you a man.
Nah, that's a dirty play. That's such a dirty play.
The foundation play.
The foundation play, like some people know like to give you a little bit of space if they know they got that much foundation, and some people will just violate your space. I saw Denzel, he got a video on how to handle it. I'm gonna take Denzel advice forward. Yeah, because then you come with makeup, it's like I don't even know how it happened. And it messes up your whole outfit tonight.
Fist bumps and a vest vest.
Fist bumps?
And driving gloves, right. Bang mask too.
You got Denzel did a no look one. I was like, yo, he ain't bad. Yeah, he a master.
Shawty, no ladies look the same. Blackout, I can't wait. Topic one.
No, but that's not a diss. I'm just saying I'm actually on the side of women because I think women have a lot of pressure put on them from society, from social media to play a part. So they wear makeup, but then they get criticized for wearing makeup. Like, oh, well, y'all don't look the same without makeup. Yeah. Well, you asked them to look their best. So they went and made a whole makeup routine. Yeah. Then you criticize them for wearing makeup. So it's like it's a catch-22. They can't win either way.
Some of our women just have natural beauty and they don't need any enhancements.
And any men that get to criticizing women, I got a theory about you anyway. So stop. Yeah, and y'all be going to comments back and forth.
Criticizing being overly critical.
Why?
Like why you care that much?
Because she ain't getting on top of you. Because you ain't on top of your game. That's why you care.
Man. All right, let me put them.
Put your hood on real quick. That's why you care. Yeah, you didn't ride these stocks to the top, so she won't ride you. That's why you care what you doing. Shit. That's another thing we gotta add. Hey, how did I have envy? Hang with men that got they own women. These are life lessons brought to you by Blackout. Tune in every Wednesday. Blackout.
Short preview.
What is it? Test?
Short preview of Blackout.
For real.
Short preview, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
Blackout hour. Oh,
We gonna do something Blackout related at Investors? Or we gonna keep it Market Mondays?
we
Clean
could.
cut?
We could. Pop up.
Pop up.
It'd be tough. It'd be
Shut
tough.
that. Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do that.
Brittany Renner, Drea, Umar. What's up?
That's due date time. We can't do
Y'all
that.
Drea, friend of the show. Y'all get off Drea back. Another instance. Why y'all care?
A lot.
Nick Young, dirty. Mac.
Nasty. That was nasty.
Okay.
They ain't
Now
need to do that.
boy go dipping Iggy, you gonna be upset.
We don't wish that on no man.
Come on, man. Dudes be out here dirty macking on women. I'll say it.
Nah, they just be chatting.
What?
For no reason.
Chatty, Pat, keep your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyrie hitting the game winner.
Lefty.
Oh my God, my God. That's crazy.
The fact that he purposely shot a left hook floater for the game winner, because most people would have came back to their right. You dribbling with your left hand. 99.9% of the people, that's an important game. The game is on the line. Every single person in the world would have pulled up with their right hand and shot the ball across their body. The fact that he just doesn't even care enough and has enough confidence,
Great form
to shoot a hybrid is actually a hybrid hook shot.
It looked like a hook at first. You're right.
A hook shot.
Yeah.
It's a hook shot, but it was no hook. It's a hook shot floater.
Yeah, like a jump hook floater.
Over a 7-footer. Don't forget that. It wasn't like there wasn't nobody there. Like Joker's right there.
The most impressive thing about this situation is that he didn't eat or drink anything the whole entire day.
Did you see his numbers though? This is crazy. So like he is fasting, right? During the month of Ramadan. But if you look at his stats during the times when he's fasting, it's incredible. Like his numbers go up.
No, it's the whole thing. Ramadan Kyrie, it's online. You could hashtag Ramadan.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's crazy.
During the playoffs with the Brooklyn, he went crazy.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not one of the 75,
that's ridiculous.
How is that possible?
They need to make an amendment
immediately
to that. That's ridiculous.
It's embarrassing.
Yo, they have
get Chris Mullin off there, or whoever.
That's not. They have a history of him using his left hand on the shot. There's like 10 times where he does it. It's like, I mean, he's ambidextrous, but
no. But for a game,
not for a game. That's his first game winner.
Going up against,
he did it in the finals.
Jokic.
He did it in the finals, bro.
That would have been a tough shot going right.
Makes it one of the
game
greatest.
winner against the MVP, who's 7 feet tall.
That makes it it's number one.
You're 6'2". It's just, it doesn't even make any sense. It's humanly impossible to even think about. Would he even tried?
Yeah, no.
You imagine if
they made a big thing over that Jordan layup.
If he would have missed that shot, the criticism of
it would have been crazy.
Nah, because he does it.
What left hand? No, bro, you don't do that at a game winner. You don't. No. Left hand hook shot at the game winner.
The game was tied. It wasn't like they would have lost the game.
It's still a game winning.
I know. It's definitely the best shot that I've. I don't know if anybody in the history could make that shot. It looked crazy. I'm just like, yo, and it was just a natural movement for him. It wasn't like anything like he does that. Damian Lillard said it after the game. Yo,
I was just about to ask, do you agree?
Most talented NBA player that we've seen.
The most skilled.
Most skilled. And he might be, bro.
Well, he definitely has the best handle. I told that to Joy Taylor.
Hands down.
She said Allen Iverson has the best handle.
No.
I think.
No, even AI said Kyrie.
I wouldn't put AI before Isaiah Thomas.
Kyrie has the best handle
and
ever.
I would put Kyrie before both of them.
And he's the best finisher ever. Finishes with both hands at the rim. Who's better?
Yes, hands down. Under the rim.
Right hand.
He got Stockton. He got Nash. He got.
I'm about going to the basket, finishing at the rim. He's the best finisher of all time.
Better than a Jordan or LeBron finishing at the rim.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
If LeBron had Kyrie layup package,
No. His layup package is crazy. But LeBron can lay right,
real.
left, and go over you.
LeBron's the greatest of all time, but I'm saying
That's
as far as
no. Let's just sneak that in.
his ability to put the English on the basketball, to get
That's
shots
insane.
with any hand at any direction,
His layup package
the
is
corner of the rim, he is the
super
best
skilled, yo.
finisher, most trickiest ball handler.
best ball handler for sure. I'm not. I can't say finish at the rim better than a Jordan. I can't say that.
Jordan?
Yeah, finishing at the rim.
When did Jordan become just this all-time best finisher ever?
Because he can go right, go left,
He
any
went
way you
left
want,
one time.
or go over you, or
When
go
did-
over
when
you.
did Jordan
These
become-
guys are going over
when
you.
did Jordan-
I'm taking dunks away. No,
Oh, I'm not taking dunks.
Jordan Kemp,
You said
Jordan
finisher.
Kemp will go over you. Like there's a lot of people that could dunk.
But no.
Vince Carter jumped over somebody.
I would
Literally
put
jumped over
I would
somebody.
put Vince Carter in finishing at the rim. You said finish at the rim.
Not
Now we're talking about layup package. It's not even a question. Him
And
and,
this is
I
scary
don't know
part,
who's
like,
number two.
Kyrie's in what, his 12th year, 13th year,
It might be more than that, which is scary.
14th. Like he keeps getting better.
He's the best.
He keeps getting better.
He's the best.
Is he the best player on his team?
No.
He's the best,
But he keeps getting better.
Okay.
he's the fifth.
Yeah.
He's one of the 5 greatest point guards of
my
all
guy.
time.
Whoa.
He's the greatest ball handler of all time.
Yeah, he cooking John Stockton. Let's stop.
Whoa.
That's not even a comparison.
He cooking Steve Nash. Who he cooking Zeke.
You got Oscar Robertson. You got Magic Johnson.
He
you
cooking
have-
Magic.
You have, and I hate to even. Steph Curry's not a point guard. Let's be honest.
Steph's a point guard.
He's not a point
Yeah.
guard.
Steph's a point
Steph
guard.
Not a
hybrid.
point guard.
Steph is
not
a point
He's
guard.
not a point guard.
He is a point
But if you
guard.
want to
Steph
put
is
Steph,
a two.
Not if. He's a point guard.
he's not a point guard. He changed the game. He
Yeah,
revolutionized.
he's a hybrid.
He's a scorer. He's a score first, pass second.
And Kyrie.
Hybrid. He's a hybrid.
So what makes Kyrie a point guard?
Facilitation.
What is he facilitating? He doesn't even facilitate offense now. He hasn't
Lucas the point guard.
he hasn't facilitated offense in 5 years.
Because
So
he
what
has
offense?
the ability to play off the ball.
Now that I think, when did he facilitate offense?
Cleveland.
No,
Cleveland for sure.
He
no,
facilitated offense.
no. The offense is facilitated by LeBron James.
LeBron James is the orchestra of everything when he's on the basketball court, but Kyrie Irving
Kyrie's never really
was the
been at the-
facilitator of that offense.
He's not-
And in crunch time, he was
No.
definitely the facilitator of offense. What are you talking about? He's a
not the
point guard. He's a point guard. He's not a point guard.
Steph's a point guard. If he's a point guard, then Steph is.
Steph's a
Steph's a
hybrid.
point.
Steph's really a
The
two.
shooting guard playing. He's Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a shooting guard playing point guard. The same thing. Same
Allen
thing.
Iverson was a
Drake
point guard.
really point forward.
Eric Snow was their point guard.
When he didn't play with Eric Snow his whole career, there's times when Allen Iverson was the point guard,
And when he didn't play with Eric Snow,
and he never
they had a
was,
point guard
he
on the
never
floor.
was a point guard.
they tried it in Denver at him at point.
Bottom line is this: you have 3 players that are probably above Kyrie. Those 3 I just named. You may be able to throw Isaiah Thomas in.
May?
No,
May.
man, I love Zeke.
Keyword may.
Wait. This man has won 2 chips, is the finals MVP. in that chip.
Iverson better than
So
Zeke.
did
Stop.
So did who?
Kyrie won a chip.
And was what? The MVP of it?
He could have easily.
And he the fucking reason they won.
He led the team in scoring. What are you talking about? He led the
And
team
hit the
in scoring.
game winner. What are you talking
He
about?
destroyed Steph Curry.
Stop.
Shout out to
Everyone
Steph.
stop. Everyone
Shout out to Steph.
Stop.
Shout out to Steph.
Stop.
Destroy Steph Curry. That's a fact.
What team did he lead in scoring?
Cleveland
No,
Cavaliers.
I'm gonna let you retract it.
The Cleveland
I'm
Cavaliers.
going to let you retract it. He led what team in
The
scoring?
Cleveland Cavaliers.
In the
Brett.
finals?
Well, yeah.
Put Brett up
I'm
first.
talking
Don't look.
about for the season. For the season.
Put Brett up. No, put Brett. No, put Brett up. Don't look. What year?
I'm gonna tell you.
The key lesson in this, if you're
He
trading,
never led the Cavs in scoring.
work on your craft every day to get better. Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to my guy.
Guy is great.
Good person. Yeah,
He didn't carry a team to the finals.
sniper too. He the reason they won.
He's the reason.
No, he hit a game winning.
He scored 40 points in the game. What are you talking about?
Who's
He
MVP?
played with the greatest player of all time.
Who's MVP?
That was bullshit.
Yeah.
That Brian got the
Ask the
MVP.
question again. Yes. Twice.
After Shaq left.
And
Shaq
he won.
He never won an MVP when he played with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, but
when you play with the best player, you're not going to win MVP.
That's even more so the
If
case.
you play with the best player of all time, you're not going to win
And
MVP.
then he won without him and was the MVP twice. You know what Kyrie's done without LeBron James? How many finals has he been to? How many series has he won?
None.
LeBron only been a one, right?
No. I'm talking about how many has Kyrie been to? How many
None.
playoff series have they won?
None.
You're talking about a guy who carried his team to the finals.
Who carried the team to the finals?
Isaiah Thomas.
You talking about somebody
He had
who
a dream
was
team,
in
yeah.
an era where
He had a what
it
team?
was literally close
dream
to
team.
people.
The Bad Boys won a dynasty. Come on.
He's playing with Hall of Famers.
He said he had a dream,
Crazy.
a dream team.
He's not. He's playing with Hall of Famers, bro.
And
What?
Kyrie's not?
But you acting like he had nobody on his team.
No, I'm saying.
He had Dennis Rodman, who's the greatest rebounder of all time, one of the greatest defensive players of all time, who's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He had
Benny
Joe,
Johnson
he
off
had
the
Joe Dumars, which is one of the greatest defenders of all time.
defenders of all time.
Okay.
not?
Okay.
With
He's not?
Cook and Jordan too.
But you-
And,
he had a
who's the
team,
best player
bro.
on that team? And who carried him to the finals?
Isaiah Thomas is the best player on the team.
And he won twice, right?
You, like I said, he could be in the
As the
conversation.
best player on the team.
As an individual player,
This is a
Isaiah's
distraction.
not better
There
than
are 5 point guards. I named 4 point
No,
guards.
Go
Name-
tell me what ChatGPT said about Kyrie leading the Cavs.
Name the fifth.
I want you to tell me
name the
first.
fifth.
No, tell me first.
2014, 2012, 2013, 2014. He led the league. He led the team in scoring.
When LeBron wasn't on the team?
2014.
This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. Yo, this is a prime example of what this guy will try to do.
So who's the fifth point guard better than Kyrie?
I'm saying that Isaiah Thomas is definitely better.
That's 4 point guards. Who's the fifth one?
If we're talking pure point guard, can we throw Chris Paul in there? Can we?
Chris Paul.
I'm asking you a
I'm
question.
asking-
I'm
I'm
asking
asking.
you a
I'm-
question.
I'm
What is
posing
your
a question.
answer? What's your answer?
No.
What's your answer?
No,
Could be 5.
So you're saying Chris Paul is
Chris Paul's not better than
rounds out
Kyrie.
the 5.
Or and we gotta wait till he's done. But I think Luka will be in that.
He's-
line.
Luka's the point guard.
Absolutely.
Luka played 6 seasons.
And I said when he's done.
Tune in to Blackout, ladies and
That's a
gentlemen.
fact.
Wednesday at 10
By
o'clock.
all metrics, he's the best player on the team now. And Kyrie's on the team.
Barbara
I agree.
Corkin, because he has the green light. Also, when you give somebody the franchise, you're in a position to do anything you want.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban, anytime Mark Cuban says that Kyrie is the second best ball handler on the team, you notice the scales are lopsided in Luka's favor.
He didn't earn that though.
He earned for Mark Cuban to say that he's a better.
No, you
ball
said
handler
they
than
gave
Kyrie.
him the franchise. He earned that, right?
He didn't earn it, but I'm just saying it's his team. When it's your team,
But
then
it
you
should.
have there's a pecking order.
Yeah, it should be his team. He's the best player.
So if they never win a chip, that's still gonna be there.
What?
If Dallas never won a chip with Luka,
Will it be there? We'll have to wait and see. I think he gets one. I think he gets one.
Tune in to Market Mondays every Monday, 8 o'clock.
yes.
Blackout, 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Barbara Corkin, big interview.
Mhm.
Shark on Shark Tank. I saw Mark Cuban said she made $37 million off a $50,000 investment.
Crazy.
She got Pelosi beat.
Insane.
Legendary.
Yes.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Earn Your Leisure, IanInvest.com. That is the stock club sale. Open for 48 hours. That gives you access to Stock Club for 3 years and Sniper for 5 years.
Yep.
All right.
All right, man.
Ladies and
Don't
gentlemen.
miss out.
Brothers love, everybody. I think Pisces season is officially over this week, man. So shout out to all the Pisces. What comes after that? Is it Aries? Aries. Shout out to all y'all.
Oh yeah,
Everybody that
Eric.
had a birthday this week. Love is love. Be good to each other. Reach out, hit somebody up, shoot a text over. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace.